I guess new beginning. Um, but it is August 12th. It is Monday. What looks like it's going to be my only day off. Um, at least for the time being until things get stabilized at the brewery. I start working on my own and they get me a little bit of help. So maybe my hours will increase through the week, but I'll still be able to continue that 1 or 2 days off. Um, right now, we're only open 5 days a week. Um, we're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays as of right now, but the way things are hitting off up there, these uh, these first couple weeks of cold openings. Uh, wow, wow. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Car. Good to see you getting your coffee, huh, Car? I've already gone through a pot. I've already gone through a pot. I get up 3 o'clock in the morning to get woke up and have my coffee and stuff like that before I go to work. This morning, I actually slept in. Didn't get up till 4:30. Ooh. Good morning, Jan. Happy birthday, Sarah. Happy 38. My God, it doesn't seem possible. It does not seem possible. Girl, if I met you on the street, I would swear to God you're 30 years old. You are just, wow, 38. I feel like my babies are growing up all over again. Let me see here. Watching for a little bit before I have to leave for work. Your kids back in school already down there? Ours don't start till right after Labor Day. So, but Michigan, with all the snow and stuff, they always figure in like 20 extra days in our school year, um, which is weird. But, they start like immediately following Labor Day and they go until like the 20th, 20, sometime the third week of June. So I remember when I was in school, we started the second week of August. We got out the first week of May. So times change. Get my coffee. Today's 38. Hello, Sarah Doll. Happy birthday. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in. Thank you, Jam. Mm, mm, I seem to be fully functional. Fully functional is all you can ask for on a Monday morning. Don't ask for what kind of function. I mean, for some of us, in this age group, fully functional is being able to get up, walk a straight line, drink a little coffee, and make a poop. So, I mean, that's fully functional. Um, blah, 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 blah. We have to open the kitchen today and tomorrow. Kids start Wednesday. Kids for me go back on September 3rd. My kids go back Thursday. I'm working at the high school, not the elementary school. Squirrel Sniper, good morning. Good to see you. Greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. Most definitely. Definitely. Oh, God. That coffee's good this morning. First time in a week I've got to finish a full pot of coffee. So, I mean, Normally, even getting up, 2.5 hours before I have to leave for work, just have time to work on the videos a little bit, drink some coffee. I still leave probably a quarter of a pot every day. Um, but it just adds to the flavor of the next day's coffee. Oh man. But yeah, the way it's looking right now, y'all. At least for the time being, I'm getting. I'm working. What Tuesday through Sunday, um, about 5 or 6 hours a day, until we start doing. Well, until they turn appetizers over to me, and we start working on our pan pasta, our spaghettis, our fettuccines, things like that. Um, right now, I am only doing pizza doughs. I do anywhere between 80 and 120 pizza doughs a day. And before anybody asks how business is, for 3 days straight, we ran out of pizza doughs 2 hours before we open, or before we close, I mean. So that's how business has been at the brewery. I mean, Saturday night. Um, Saturday night, we ran out at 6 o'clock p.m., 3 hours after opening. Um, so, yeah, that gives you a little idea how business is going. Um, let me see, y'all. Let me see, y'all. It's finally squirrel season here, and I intend to go hunting as soon as I can afford it. I'd love to have some squirrel. It has been forever since I had squirrel. Nothing personal there. UK here all year round with your gray squirrels. I'm going to take our outside kitty squirrel hunting, because we've got some squirrels out here that are as big as our outside male kitty, and they have no problem jumping on their back and taking them down. I've actually seen two squirrels fighting our outside kitty, and he'll take out one and then turn to the other. The other one just runs away, goes up a tree. It's like, oh, to hell with this shit. This thing is nimble. I don't know what this yellow thing is. It's hissing and raring at me, but it just took out Fred. I'm getting out of Dodge. Um, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I would want to harvest gray squirrels. They're pretty small. Our gray squirrels around here are pretty cool. It's the piney squirrels that could damn near crawl through the holes in a window screen. I mean, these things ain't no more than that without a tail. They look like extra large chipmunks. At least the brewery's giving you hours. Yeah, they're giving me some great hours. I like going in there in the morning, working with the chef. It's gonna come down to the point where um, he's not even gonna come in the morning. I'm just gonna go in, do everything myself, and I leave when the prep person gets there, and chef don't have to come in until about an hour before open, which we will be opening for lunch here real soon. So, uh, they're giving me the hours. It's a little bit less in pay than I had at the bar, But I just found out that last night, that our the manager, the wife's aunt that manages, supervises, whatever you want to call it, she's the only non-Indian left there. Um, the little redhead bartender, Brooke, that we had up there, quit Saturday. Quit. She went from, because she started off as a server, so she started off, server pay $7 an hour, and she became a bartender. Well, they give her a raise to $9 an hour, and she got tired of it, so she quit and come to work at the brewery. So Isla's the only one left there, and um, well, needless to say, she's family. So I'm gonna see if maybe we can find a spot for her at the brewery, um, and that's gonna leave the bar with no proper bartenders, no bartenders licenses, no nothing. So who knows? Who knows? Um, Let me see. I don't know. I want to, at least the brewer's giving you hours. We don't actually have grays in this area, but when I was in the South, black squirrels are becoming an issue. Yeah, those Canadian black squirrels, man, they're like Canadian geese. Make it so they don't need a passport or ID to cross the border, and they're coming straight down and taking over America. So we when I was growing up, um, when I was growing up, we had a town just south of us in Indiana, Alexandria, Indiana. Small town USA is their logo. They The black squirrels moved in and killed off every other breed of squirrel. Such a heavy concentration because their city park is so big. Um, all the gray squirrels, all the silver squirrels, all the piney squirrels, chipmunks, everything. The black squirrels came in, killed them all off, and took over the town. There is nothing but black squirrels in the town of Alexandria, Indiana. Or at least, back in the 80s and early 90s. That's how it was. Um, Lost faces, chew wires. I've only seen black squirrels once. Seen 3 black squirrels and 2 albinos. Never seen an albino squirrel. I bet they're kind of pretty. I see a few here, but 3 years ago there was none. We have a town here that is known for the black squirrels. Black squirrels are not a color anomaly. They are a different breed. But it looks like, at least for the time being, um, we have a town here that my daughters live that has white squirrels. Only Illinois. Wow. Never seen white squirrels. But it looks like this is going to be our regular. Since, like I said, I'm only off Mondays. I actually go back in not as early on a Tuesday, but still, early to get stuff done. When I go in the other days through the week, of course, I make all the fresh dough balls for that day um, first, and then I make 4 new batches of dough for the next morning, um, so they have a chance to proof and rise and everything. Uh, on Sundays, since we're not open Mondays and Tuesdays, I go in 6 o'clock and just make the dough balls or the for Sunday night. Um, don't do anything Monday morning. Tuesday morning, I go in a little bit later and I make the dough balls for Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday morning, I go back in at my regular time and process the dough balls from Tuesday and make new ones for Thursday. And then that's my MO for 5 days. So, yeah, they're at least keeping me busy. Like I said, I'm making a little bit less per hour. I'm actually losing, what, 7,500 bucks, $125 um, on the pay period, but it'll all pan out. Um, I actually started off at entry level pay, but as I move forward to working more hours and getting more stuff done, then my pay will go up. So, and when I start doing appetizers and then we start doing the pasta and stuff like that, then my hours will increase, so things will work out in the wash. It's all right, Tony. I understood. Where my daughters live. One daughter's. Damn it. Huh. One daughter. Yeah, I'll get more per hour and I'll be working more hours. So it'll actually be more beneficial. Um, the only bad thing is you're paid bi-weekly, where I was paid every week. So it'll actually seem like I'm making more, but I'm well, I mean I am making more, but much bigger checks. So good morning, me. Hope you're doing good this morning. It is a lovely day in the neighborhood. Wife got home this morning about 6:30. About 7 o'clock, stepson showed up um, to see, you know, about getting the lumber for for the steps on the deck, so we can get it finished up, get the spindles cut for the railing, and get that puppy done. But hung out with him out on the deck for a little bit, fuck with him, the fun stuff. Got his mom laughing, then she came in, went to bed, and I came back in here and started working. Um, I only have the one day a week that I can get things done early in the morning when I have the gumption to do it. Um, got some good videos coming up this week, though. Yesterday was the what if. Cryptids are just undiscovered species. Tomorrow, remembering the New London school explosion. Um, Thursday, Bethlehem Royal Hospital, um, from a dark history to a bright future. And then for next Sunday, I'm actually working on a World War II video. So, you know, trying to move that history around a little bit. You guys know I'm not really big on 20th century history, but every once in a while you just got to throw some stuff in there. So I've always been paid bi-weekly. Man, not me. I do not like bi-weekly paychecks, because especially when they're direct deposited in me and the wife's account, because I don't have a card to the damn account. So that's just one more way that she can control how much my stipend is. Now, if I could get her to stick to the old arrangement with the bar, we stick $100 into or $150 into the account, and I get to keep $150 or $200 in my pocket for things around here. But, it don't necessarily work that way because she's a control freak. Hello, Yo-Yo Head. Good morning from North Carolina. We'll be flying tomorrow into Michigan. Well, good morning, you little prick. Morning, Bubba. Hope you enjoyed your vacation. That's been I love the pictures and stuff you sent the other day. That was really cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed your trip, had a good time, got out of Niles for a little bit, into the Appalachians, and had some fun down there. We'll be going down probably the middle of next month, since the wife had to put off our trip, because we were going to be leaving in 3 days? No, 7 days. A week from today is when we were going to leave, but she didn't have enough PTO time saved up for her full vacation that she wanted to take. So we had to put it off about a month so she had time to scroll up 4 or 5 more days of PTO time. So we'll, because you can't afford to take a vacation and not get paid for it. It's kind of like what I'll be doing. Wait a second. Why am I getting screwed in this deal? I knew I should have found a way to open Papa's Pizza, because then I could have other people working the pizza place while I was gone and me still be getting paid for taking the time off. Damn it. I'm getting screwed in this deal. Hold on a second. But yeah, we'll be going down to Tennessee, hitting some of the sightseeing spots, hitting some of the historic spots. I'm going to try to talk my parents into going down to Chickamauga Battlefield, just over the Tennessee line into Georgia, just south of Chattanooga a little bit. Because they're located right in between Nashville and Chattanooga. I'm going to try to do a little bit of how do you get vacation leave for a new job. You just give them a week's notice of when you're leaving. That's what I told her when she wakes up today. We need to sit down and fill out all of the new hire paperwork, since I can't read it because the print's too damn small. And I'm working on half an eye. But we also need to figure out the schedule for the vacation so I can make sure and let my chef know more than a week ahead of time when I'm taking a week off. That way we can work a little harder at getting some more help in there to make sure things maintain their normal role when I'm gone. But I'm going to be doing a public advertisement. Probably work on it sometime today or after work tomorrow, to post on the Crossville, Tennessee and Pikeville, Tennessee town sites, that Black Cat Paranormal is coming to Tennessee for a week, and we're looking for either Civil War related paranormal sites or just historic sites to investigate while we're down there. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, like I said, guys, this is probably going to be our regular, at least for the time being. Um, having a day free to actually do a live stream. I don't like doing it that way, only doing it once a week. Um, I might attempt to do like a Friday evening stream or a Wednesday evening stream, um, even though I get up at the butt crack of dawn. I get up before dawn. The sun is still wiping its eyes when I get up, so and start moving around. Jan, you do the same, honey. Have a great day. Hope everything works out well. I know you're looking forward to this, so have an absolutely wonderful day. And give me a message tonight when you get home. Let me know how it went for you. I did manage to restock 100 rounds of 22 ammo I used last trip to the range. That's always good. I got 2,550 rounds in. Sounds good. All right, Jan. Have a good day, sweetie, and we will talk to you tonight. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm glad everybody's up and around this morning. I cannot believe Sarah is 38 years old. I mean, that girl is hotter than a fresh frick fox in a forest fire. And I just cannot believe she's 38 years. She's almost an old woman. She's almost a spinster. Just can't bloody believe it. King Wolf Paranormal, good morning. Hope you're doing well this morning. It was it was like a jigsaw puzzle getting those in the ammo cabinet. Your ammo cabinet sounds like me packing for a trip or something. Um, you got to be a master at Tetris to be able to load a car or something. Well, or an ammo cabinet like we do. I mean, I can pack a car where there's no free space, and much like when we took the family trip 2 weeks ago up north for the reunion, the wife said, I still want to be able to see out the back of the car since, it's a 2.5 hour drive. And she could. And then, after being up there and people giving us stuff to bring back or the step or the son, overpacking his car, he managed to stick stuff in ours, and I still was able to pack it where the wife could see out her back window. So even with tents and the pop up and air mattresses and coolers and clothes and yeah, I don't know how. I really honestly a lot of times I just close my eyes and start shoving shit in there, and how it comes out is how it comes out. But apparently it works because she could still see out her back window. I'm just having a cup of coffee this morning and kick back and relax. Good, good. Sometimes that's the best way to start a day or the best way to start a week. I've sat back this morning and had a pot of coffee and just worked on videos for the week. Wanted to let you guys know too, I found a new channel, and I do believe that this young lady is worth checking out. The channel is called Demonotica, and the host is a young woman named Chella, and she does a lot of paranormal investigations, historical investigations, things like that out in Colorado where she lives. And I actually caught one of her um, premieres last night. Well, her video went public last night, and I was probably like the fourth or fifth person to watch it. And very, very cool place. Very, she does an excellent job. I wish she lived closer. I would love to do an investigate. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'd love to do an investigation with her. She is balls to the wall, um, getting the information out there, getting the history out there. Um, Seems like a real sweet girl. I'd love to investigate with her sometime. Um, these are a pair of three-door metal cabinets. Each door is like medicine cabinet size, maybe large, like 18 inch wide, 2 foot tall, 6 inches deep, maybe eight. 7 of these cabinets are packed with ammo. Well, until the new lumber comes in to finish the steps and everything on the deck, we had picked up a steel framed coffee table and end tables that had a like a fake marble top on it, and love the cabinets. I mean, I've got the two end tables stacked and screwed together in here for my um, lighting system to use the green screen. But we had the big coffee table um, out on the deck and had planters sitting on it. And that genius kid, man, he's sitting there looking at that going, man, that wrought iron frame is strong as hell. It can support a few 100 pounds. And his mom says, yeah, I'd kind of like to make it a bench out here since everything else on the deck is wrought iron too, all the furniture. So he, right off the bat, is taking the scrap wood and he's putting a 2x6 top across this thing. And his mom is going to go out and buy indoor outdoor cushions that match ours to just make a bench out of this thing. But I had actually come up with the idea this morning of, wrapping the whole thing that and putting a hinged top on it where people sit at, but you can actually store stuff in there, be it outdoor planters or whatever in the wintertime. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know much. Oh, hey Derek, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. Um, Ty, good to see you, bud. I don't know how much I have, but it's just under 20,000 rounds of 22 rimfire. That's pretty cool. I did pull all that shit out and count what was in the cabinet. I got full magazines and tubes. Well, when shit hits the fan finally in this country, I know where I'm going. I'm heading straight for Tony because, yeah, it's good to have friends that are organized and ready. I'm gonna set up my tent right in Tony's front yard. Let the wife and daughter stay in there, and I'm gonna sleep in the back of Tony's Suburban or something like that. Oh, goodness, 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 man. Those first few days, those first few days took it out of me. Um, not being able to go to bed until the wife leaves at 9:30 to go to work, and then I got to be back up, 3 o'clock in the morning to get my coffee down and get woke up enough to go and work. And then coming home and the wife's still sleeping, and I have no freaking clue what the hell I got to do. So I just come right back in here and start doing more research and stuff because it's been nice this week in Michigan, even though we're supposed to be in the dog days of summer. It's been nice. It's been in the 70s, so the windows have all been open, so I can't even go outside and do anything without fear of waking the wife up. Oh, yeah, well, I have knives, swords, crossbows. Good thing about what I have is they never run out of ammo and they are silent. Yeah, crossbows kind of run out. I wouldn't mind having a good crossbow. I need more swords too. Which I mean, you guys know if you've been with me for a while, you know I'm all about um, primitive weapons, swords, crossbows. I've been looking at building a crossbow since I have a couple of old rifle stocks out in the shed. Building a decent crossbow that I can, you know, play with. Swords, knives, etc. require one to get way into shooting range. To what rifles? They're old percussion 32 and 50 caliber stocks that I got years and years and years ago. Um, and they just sat out in the shed because I could never afford to go out and buy parts to actually build working rifles. Most of them are little half stocks. So, and I don't have the other half to the stocks and stuff. So, instead of leaving them all sitting around doing nothing except rotting away, I figured I'd do something a little different with them. And my local pawn shop has a katana made from Damascus steel for $400. That's not a bad deal right there. I mean, especially if it's like good Damascus. Um, Making the fore end would be fairly easy. Well, if I had any kind of tools to do that kind of stuff, it would be fairly easy. And I probably would have already made the four half of the stock. But I mean, you forget I have. No, I can't do the pocket knife thing. I can't see well enough to do that kind of thing. I'd wind up whittling away most of this right here and probably this knuckle right here and might even cut my wrist or something like that in the process of trying to do it. Yeah, it's not worth the effort. It really honestly isn't. But yeah, Derek, if it's good Damascus and you'll be able to run your thumbnail down the blade to see if it's a good tight Damascus. But the Japanese sword masters, the Yamahas and stuff like that, um, were making swords 1,000 years ago, and they were rolling the steel 100 times, 150 times. Um, those are the good katanas. And every once in a while, you can still find some really good katanas on the market, but a lot of families held on to them because, when they when the Mitsubishis and the Yamahas and stuff went from swords to more modern weapons, um, the family stored those things away. But every once in a while, you can still find a beautiful, beautiful katana from 300 years ago, 400 years ago, estate sales, things like that. The steel for this sword was rolled 190 times. Mm-hmm. Morning, dog. Get your stitches out today. That's great news, man. That is great news. I'm glad your body's healing up like it is, and hopefully you keep on the mend and everything. Um, you start playing a little more again and getting out without fear of hurting yourself. Bloody damn thing. But yeah, I've seen a few swords and stuff. My I don't have it up here. Oh, my basket hilt. That I carry around. It was made by a specific individual um, out of Texas, and he was making the uh, the the basket hilt broadswords and the Lowlander, much larger, heavier broadswords there for a while, and got like very, very sick, and we almost lost him. And I found out that he is now back in production of some of the larger blades. And as soon as I can get the finance thing squared away, um, hopefully before he stops producing them again, because he is getting up there in age. He's late 60s now, and swinging a trip hammer, not the easiest thing for a 68, 69, 70-year old man. But as soon as I can get the financial thing rolled around, squared away, I'm going to attempt to get one of his claymores and one of his Scottish Lowlander blades. I mean, they only run. I mean, they're hand forged. They're primitive forged. Modern equipment is not used on them, and he sells them for about $100 a piece. So, but he makes them to order, which is pretty cool because I only have to wait like a week for each of them. So by the time he gets them done and gets them sent out, it's about a week and a half after order you get it. So yeah, and the only reason that I really like him is because he made the swords that was used in my wedding back in 2016, since we had a Scottish wedding and a Scottish Ceilidh. I've never been into swords and knives, bladed stuff beyond the tool aspect of a knife. Understandable, to each their own. You know, you like modern guns and the fact that you don't have to be 5 foot from somebody to, well, unless you're throwing an axe or something, then you're just throwing away your weapon. But still, you know, I like, I like primitive guns. I like primitive weapons, crossbows, swords, knives, battle axes. tomahawks, flintlock, percussion, wheel lock, matchlock. The only sword I have handled was a claymore and thought it was overly heavy. Claymore, yeah, yeah, claymores can be heavy blades. The Lowlander sword was actually bigger than the claymore. So, but it was a two-handed close range weapon. I mean, the Lowlander sword was basically made for taking down cavalry units. You were on the ground; they were, you know, 6 feet above you. You were either using it to block their sword blow, or you're using it to take the legs off from under the horses. So cavalry units became foot soldiers really quick. You're gonna keep going out on me. You're gonna be one of those safety cigars, aren't you? Oh man, I cannot believe that I slept an hour and a half longer than normal, and I still feel like stomped poopy caca. Oh, I kind of want to go back to bed, but I have stuff to work on for the week. I do like the look of a claymore, though. See, and the big difference between the claymore, besides about 9 inches of blade, the big difference between a claymore and a lowlander is, you know, the claymore comes, the quillions come down, have the real pretty little three-leaf clovers on the end of them, and a lowlander sword, same basic design, except the quillions come out and then they curl under, and there's like acorns on the end of them. And they had a big ring forge welded right at the bottom of the pommel of the handle. And it was much easier to carry on your back because, much like a claymore, um, it was too long to put on your side. It drugged the ground, it bounced around. You know, you're talking about a 5 foot long sword. Um, that was a defensive weapon, really. It wasn't like a small handheld that you could do the wrist work and stuff with, um, like a fencing sword would be, or a hand to hand sword. The Claymore and the Lowlander were both defensive weapons, like I said, to basically take cavalry units and make them foot soldiers. Unless you got a good swipe in when they rode by you and laid the rib cage of the horse open and took off their right leg or left leg, whatever, on the swipe. Then they're one leg soldiers or 1 foot soldiers. I don't think I've ever seen a Lowlander sword. Midwest history comes alive, probably coming close to its end unless something changes, but don't see that happening. Why? What's going on, man? Got a 10:20 a.m. appointment. Walking a lot better, getting better. Last, um, getting better. Last in-home therapy tomorrow, then outpatient therapy after that. Very cool, dog. I'm glad to hear that, man. I have a cavalry sword here. Nice, nice. See, I mean, you understand the length. I mean, even a more modern cavalry sword how it's got a curve on it for slashing, um, or even the old English style cavalry swords that were more of a broadsword, but it was small enough that it could be handled on horseback without possibly doing damage to the back of your horse's head or its ear or something like that. Um, and then basing it in comparison to, like I said, a lowland sword or a claymore, with its length and weight to do damage to horse and rider. So, but that's very cool that you have a cavalry sword. I've had a couple um, Civil War era um, cavalry swords, and then of course officers sword, enlisted swords. So, but they just I don't like reproduction cavalry swords. There's just something generic about them. I'll explain on my next live stream. Uh, that doesn't sound good, Ty. Lord, it would be tough to handle Claymore on horseback. Yeah, exactly, which is why, a lot of times they were handled as a defensive weapon against people on horseback. So, they would ride at you with their little 3 foot long cavalry sword, 3.5 foot long, and here you are with a 5 pound, 5 foot long, well, with the handle 5.5 foot long, um, 5 to 7 pound sword that's meant to take their horse out from under them. Um, yeah, you didn't use a claymore on horseback, that's for sure. Um, I would love to get my hands on a War of 1812 general officer's sword. Definitely so. Definitely so. But yeah, especially with the different characters that I do with the Ren Fair and stuff, when I do security for them, I would love to get my hands on a decent looking um, crossbow, or even a nice warhammer, or a battle axe to run different characters when I do security for that Ren Fair here local every year. Okay. The sword in the 80s movie Conan is that, and Syrian sword. Um, it's a modification of an Arthurian. They call it an Atlantean sword. But yeah, it's a modified version of an Arthurian type, Arthurian era type of personal sword. That was a heavy piece of metal too. I've seen a reproduction of one of them. Um, that your arm would get tired swinging that thing for 2 or 3 hours. That's for sure. It's kind of amazing that the claymore got so much notoriety given its relatively narrow span of use. Oh yeah, it's the most popular Scottish blade that you ever hear people talking about, and uh, it wasn't used for more than probably 100 years. Um, it was probably because of the design, and of course um, probably because, oh, thank you. Oh, this side, maybe. No, it will not pop that way. Doggone it. Um, yeah, for the length of time it was used in history, it was not. Wasn't used very long, but it got all the notoriety of the popular swords. William Wallace used the claymore. You know, they're trying to say that. Well, I believe it's in Edinburgh right now. The sword they have on display, being Wallace's sword, it's actually the sword on display is a Lowlander sword. It's got the quillions that come out with the acorns on it, but they're saying that over what the last 800 years or whatever, 600 years, that the sword has been had replacement parts put on it because it's been broken apart, it was damaged, whatever. So it actually runs what was considered to be a claymore handle and pommel and a claymore blade, but Lowlander quillions. So yeah, he was supposed to have used a claymore, but they're saying because of his notoriety, his education, his location, there's every possibility that um, he could have used a Lowlander sword. So the Japanese swords were renowned for their craftsmanship. Oh, definitely so. Definitely so. They were rolling steel 300 years before anybody else tried to do it. So yeah, definitely the masters would sit in their caves and they would make these swords, and yeah, the craftsmanship, the ability that went into the craftsmanship was renowned worldwide. I also always loved Duncan MacLeod's Dragon Head katana. Um, I liked all the Highlander swords. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking. I was always a fan of the movie. I've always loved the swords. I've never had a chance to have any of them. I would love to have um, the Connor MacLeod, the Duncan MacLeod, um, and the Kurgan sword. You know, I would very proudly display those. I'm just waiting to see how the new movie pans out. They are working on the new Highlander now, supposedly. Um, we will see how that goes. But oh, give me just a minute, guys. I'm gonna make a run to the potty house real quick. You guys talk real nice amongst yourselves. No sword fighting while I'm gone. Papa don't want to miss it. So y'all talk real nice amongst yourselves. I'll be back in just a second. Oh, oh, come on back. Oh, come on. I've heard that they could be sharp enough to cut through other blades. If true, that is impressive. Um, I have heard that they would slice in to. I've never heard of them cutting through another blade, but I've heard of them slicing into another blade. But you have to remember, too, that they rolled them to give them that razor sharpness, and then the way that they sharpened them was very unique as well. And there were several accounts of a samurai that would draw his sword, which, they actually wore them. They didn't wear them curve up, they wore them curve down. So when they would draw the sword and somebody was coming at them to strike, that they would draw the sword and in one motion come right down and hit a person right below their rib cage and slice completely through the person, um, severing the spine and basically cutting the person in half. Their top half would their body would fall. The top half was completely separated from the bottom half. Um, but it would be one swift motion where they would draw, cut, and then bring the blade right back around and slide it in. So yeah, definitely. The Kurgan sword that Clancy Brown used was badass. Um, the sword that Clancy Brown used, um, God, years ago, another YouTuber out of Canada named Scalagram, um, he uh, he was talking about the Highlander swords and their functionality. And honestly, the way the sword came apart for storage and then went back together, where the two halves of the blade snapped together at, would be impossible. It is too weak on that junction where it snapped together at. Now the small, right above the quillions on the blade, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, I would love to have one just to have it and display the complete Highlander set, but functionality, no. Nope. Any place there's a break in the blade is a weakness. And if the sword is hit just right while fighting, that thing will snap right in half and kill somebody. Well, I mean, it's the general purpose of a sword, but I mean, still. Um, yeah. Functionality, sadly. Um, Another sword that is one of my favorites that I want to get is a Templar sword. Yeah, see, I would like to have a Templar sword only because I've thought about going and doing my security gig for that weekend as a Templar. Um, I've been looking at chainmail. I actually found chainmail the other day. Chainmail, what they would call a chainmail skirt and a head guard. I found one the other day. Steel rings, not aluminum. $60. $60, and dude was getting out of the reenacting thing, and yeah, $60, and I think it was $15 to ship it, because of the weight of the steel rings. But yeah, of course, I drooled on it. I probably would have rusted the rings, but yeah, Templar sword, definitely one that I'd like to add, to, you know, kick into a different persona. Let it be for cosplay, let it be for my security gig, let it be forever. But I've been sitting on a design for Templar, all the Templar robes, everything. I know exactly what the character's supposed to look like, and I just can't get the damn sword and the helm and stuff that I want to go along with it. And it's only fitting that I do Templar because, one of the jobs of the Templars was to do security for the royals and the travelers and stuff. So, since I do security, and the lady that puts it on every year represents the queen and her husband, um, it would only be right that she has a Templar guarding her, and you get the gist of it. I sharpen and polish my swords once every few weeks. I don't blame you. I'm back. I was cleaning my house up, getting ready to go to the gym. I hate to work out. Well, of course. I mean, about the closest, about the closest I come to working out is, psht, one, two, three, one, two, three. Watermelon. Yummy. It's a new drink that we just recently found here in the state. It's actually made by Mountain Dew. 5% alcohol. This one here is watermelon flavored. Nummy nummy. Sit and relax. Well, yeah, of course. That's how people we exercise. I ain't gonna go and lift somebody else's weight. I'll stay home and lift my own damn weight. 12 ounces at a time. Drew, I have a story about my connection to the Templars. Cool. We'll have to sit down one day here real soon and you tell me the story. That'd be kind of cool. Good morning, David. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're having a good day so far, good week so far, good day. And it's really funny. You bring up your connection to the Templars, Derek. Um, I, yeah, I thought I had a very unusual connection to them, which is one of the reasons I'm so fascinated by them. But I, my grandfather, being um, a Masonic knight, um, I always thought it was fascinating that his Masonic ring had a Templar cross on it. And, talking to people who have been involved in the Masonic order and stuff like that, they explained to me that after, the murders were taking place, the eradication of the Templar Knights, that the few that were not found and executed were actually absorbed in to the Masonic order, And the Templar Knights basically became the Royal Order of Masonic Knights. They were the ones that always guarded um, the Masons during their meetings and stuff. And a lot of them never gave up those Templar beliefs. And that was one huge tide of the reasons why people thought that the Masons knew about the Templar treasures, is because they absorbed the remaining Templar Knights into the Masonic Order, and they became the Royal Order of Masonic Knights that always stood over the meetings and stuff. My grandfather was a Masonic Knight and had the Templar cross on his Masonic ring. So, and it was the red Templar cross, and then it had the Masonic symbol laid over the top of it. So, very, very cool. I wish I had that ring, but when my grandfather passed away, it went to my uncle um, in South Carolina. And then when my uncle passed away, it went to his son, who is not a member of the Masonic Order. My uncle was. Um, but yeah, that's my connection. Um, I just woke up, made coffee. It's going to be a long day. I wish I just woke up and made coffee. I woke up a little over 5 hours ago, and that's all that's left in the pot. So, well, that's all that was left in the pot. Good coffee. I hate to relax, Tony. I'm too anxious. Anxious about what? Any and everything. Are you back to class yet? Wednesday? I thought it was today, but it's not. That's good. That's 2 more days of summer vacation you've got until it's time to go back and, you know, start dealing with having to learn things. Damn learning things. My friend's uncle married into a Templar family, and then his wife got disinherited by her dad, who was not only a Templar, but also a banker. Well, there's a little bit of history reliving itself, isn't it? The whole reason behind why the Templars were executed by the Church of Rome, because they opened their own bank and loan companies, and, they were amassing more knowledge and better friendships and better business relationships than the church could. I can't imagine the difficulty of being in a teaching environment these days. No, even at my age, I've thought about going back to school to become a history teacher or something, and I still, yeah, yeah, I miss work. I did for about a week. Now I miss days off. I got offered my father-in-law's Masonic ring, but I didn't want it. Hmm. I always thought those little tiny treasures like that were kind of nice to have around, just in case, you know. I'd love to have my grandfather's ring, you know, because nobody in my generation, in my family, are in the Masonic order, and I would absolutely love um, to be in the Masonic order. Um, if nothing else, just the tradition and the history of my family. We've had people in the Masonic order since before we ever came to America. So I would love to be in the Masonic order, just to keep that history and that tradition alive. Because my uncle that died 3 or 4 years ago, um, he was the last Mason in our family. So there are certain religious issues with Masons. You know that when we done that investigation with Danny here a few years ago at his Masonic lodge, um, much like, and I hate to make the comparison, but it's a good comparison. Much like with Alcoholics Anonymous, they say there is no religious involved with being in the Masons. You must only believe in something, but you don't have to believe in God. You must only believe in something because you swear your oath and loyalty to the order and to a higher power. Um, you don't take credit for your own abilities and stuff. You pay homage to uh, a higher power, not necessarily God or Jesus or Buddha or whatever the case may be, but to whatever higher power you feel deserves your respect. I just want Jesus, so I'll stick with what I know. I don't blame you. Everybody has their beliefs, whether they're a belief or a not belief. Um, everybody has them, and you deserve to keep that. I know my dad would have been upset by me having a Masonic ring, so I declined. Ah, gotcha. The only thing hot about Michigan today, Sarah, is you talking to me. You're the hottest thing here. Temperatures? No. Let's take a look at that, as a matter of fact, 'cause I haven't even looked at today. I know they called for possibility of isolated sprinkles yesterday, but let's see here. Um, another week of not hot in Michigan, guys. 79 today, 82 tomorrow, 84 Wednesday, 74 Thursday, 81, well, Thursday, 74 with showers, possible thunder showers. Friday, 81 with thunder showers. Saturday 77 with rain. Sunday 76 with rain. So yeah, um, definitely definitely not hot in Michigan again. Um, it's hot here today. I'm um I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not been hot here in over a week. We've been in the 70s and very low 80s at the max. Um, we did not even have a dog days of summer. I mean, it has been very comfortable enough. We shut off the air conditioning and opened the windows up. So it's only 57 degrees outside right now. So yeah, it's very comfortable. 61 here an hour or so ago. I'm ready for fall weather. Just hate what comes after. It's stacking in a sleeping bag weather here. Yeah, it'd be perfect camping weather here right now. Um, of course, for those of you that didn't hear, yesterday, last night, officially started the Peleus meteor shower. So we have the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, but meteors can be seen up until September 1st. So I think very possibly this evening, me and the wife might take a blanket and a couple pillows out on the deck and lay down and see if we can see any shootings. No, we won't because she's playing cards tonight. Crap. I'm glad I go in later tomorrow because I would not be able to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning with them all out here playing cards and whooping and hollering and everything until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's only 72 in Connecticut. Wow. It's a very balmy East Coast weather right there. I think, yeah, pretty close to our high for the day. We're sitting below 60 degrees right now. So, Mother Nature's been very kind to us during this latter part of summer, especially with all the, especially after all the high 80s and 90-degree days we had a month ago, for the temperatures to not to barely hit 80. Um, Rarely hit. I mean, even last week when they were calling for 80 some odd, 81-degree days, 82-degree days, we never hit 80 degrees. I think our hottest last week was 78, which is why we shut off the air conditioning and opened all the windows up. They make such a thing as earplugs, and I have a few hundred here. Want me to send you a couple? Um, I don't know. I've never tried sleeping in earplugs before. That's I don't know. I know that a lot of like earbuds and stuff like that um, won't stay in my ears. So I don't know. Might be worth trying out. But then I wouldn't hear my damn alarm in the morning. 2 weeks ago it was 97, especially in the fall. See you. Have a good day, Sarah. Take care. Uh, Miss you. Miss you bunches. Busy girl. Busy girl. Sarah says she'd like to visit Connecticut. I just want to visit Virginia. No, I just want to visit Sarah in Virginia. That's what it is. Hang out, have a few drinks together, watch her get all drunk goofy or goofy drunk, whatever the case may be. I bet she'd be fun to drink with. Oh goodness gracious, almost 9:30 already. Just a couple minutes to go. Wow. I just want to disappear into the Missouri timber. It'll happen. It'll happen, you know. Wife will be retiring here real soon. You guys will be able to pack up, head down to the cabin, and vanish into your own little world down there, man. I may go first. I can't see you leaving your woman behind and going down there if we get this house paid off. That's always the thing, man. That's what I'm doing here. I'm these weird hours and when I can and can't go to bed at night and stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to do. I am trying to get this place paid off. That way we can. That way we can, start fixing it up, start getting the landscaping and stuff done. Yeah, putting our money towards other things instead of just, making a $600+ house payment every month, and then happen to let other things go. It just, I just want to be able to go to the frickin' meat market and spend 350 bucks, fill our freezer up. We were actually talking about getting a half a beef, um, and getting it in the freezer before wintertime, but you see, you pay just a little bit less than we do. Since the insurance went up and stuff last year. We went from 570 to I think six 635 or 640, um, a month because the insurance went up, and that threw the normal payment thing into disarray. But the funny thing was they didn't even notice it. That was the weird thing, or they didn't even notify us of it. Um, we went like 2 or 3 months making the regular payment, and all of a sudden um, we got a thing in the mail saying that we were, what, $200 behind or something like that on the payment. So when they done the automatic deduction thing on the 28th of every month, they neglected in saying, hey, your house payment went up because your escrow went up. Um, they waited like 2 or 3 months. So, yeah, you dicks. But, we made that up. So, 3 times it did in the past. Um, 520 or 625 a month. Last month it was 525. Last year it was 405. 2 years ago. Okay, yeah. Now, ours has been the one here when Grandma was still alive. When I moved in here 9 years ago, it was 570. And then, like I said, we got notified that the payment had gone up due to the cost of the insurance going up. So, and then it went like to 640. The matter of fact, the like 4 or 5 months after she passed away, we were informed that it went up. So that's what we're paying now. You know, they say a prince's lifestyle on a pauper's pay. Um, that's kind of what it's like. Because even though I'm working more hours and stuff now, that just goes to keep everything current. I might get, $20 or $30 in my pocket um, out of each paycheck, but now that I'm getting paid every 2 weeks, I'll probably I wanna think I'll get more each week or each pay period, but um, like I said, my wife is the devil, and she'll probably figure out how to give me less. I married the devil. Big homie, what is up, bud? Everything is going up, but a man's paycheck. Yeah. Well, and since we bank at a credit union, Tony, um, she got um, she got her account there because Grandma had been there for years, and then when Grandma passed away, um, her account kept rolling, and I didn't work for 7 years because I took care of Grandma while she was alive after she had the stroke. So um, when so I was just added to the wife's account. So that's why I don't. I used to be really good at you know creating a budget and maintaining a budget and actually having money left over. But when you make less money than you did, I remember, God, jeez, I remember 12 years ago bringing in almost $1,000 a week doing custom brick, block, and stone work, building stone patios, retaining walls, stone outside fireplaces and fire rings and things like that. But not anymore, man. There's big companies around here now that always want to undercut the little guy. Um, she wasn't able to keep up with the money thing back when we split bills and monies. Yeah, see, I could never afford to do it when I was younger. I mean, especially with the cost of stone blades and the saws and stuff that my old boss used on a site, because we would take these beautiful rock, and we would just basically cut it into pieces yay wide, and that's what we would use, or we'd cut them in half if they were small enough, and that's what we'd use for our walkways and stuff like that. And um, and then we'd take like smaller stones, and we would just cut the top and the bottom, cut a flat spot so it stacked, um, and concreted together so much easier. And you can't afford those tools when you're an independent little feller. You know, it just it's rough. I replaced a basement of brick with concrete block. Oh wow. Now see, we have a thing up here, and I mean, all the states might have it and might call it different names. We have a thing up here called a Michigan basement, and I mean, basically, it is a basement that is all rock. I mean, they didn't even cut the flat or chip or chisel the flat parts on the rock. They would dig the hole for the foundation, and they would start concreting rock together of all different sizes and shapes until you had, your floor joists for the first floor were at 6, 7, 8 feet above up, and it was one of the worst jobs I did. See, I loved it. I loved it. Off road nomad. Good morning. Good to see you. Is stonework a dangerous job? It could be. I mean, even using modern equipment to cut stone, um, stone could explode. Um, the blade could shatter while you're cutting. So I mean, to an extent, stonework can be dangerous to a point if you're not careful. So I mean, much like with any other construction job or production job, um, you just need to really, really be watching what you're doing. Keep a hold of your safety equipment and shit, and just be careful. Um, we dug a basement from 5 feet to 6 feet, and put concrete floor and all. Um, so we dug 18 inches of that floor out and carried all that dirt out in 5 gallon buckets. I've seen partial concrete floors in a Michigan basement. Um, Kind of made me wonder what they buried in the not concreted floor, or kind of really even what they buried before they concreted part of the basement in. Uh, who knows? I could have been working in someone's basement that was a serial killer or something. I mean, you just never know. Um, Now, a lot of times, what they would do is um, they would dig a basement, 8 or 9 feet deep, and then they would just level out the ground down there and pour concrete right on top of it. So I mean, it just depends. Good morning, cemetery collector. Hope you're doing well this morning. Stonework is relatively safe aside from hand and toe damage. Yeah, yeah. Thank God for steel toes and polycarbonate boot tips that go down. Um, yeah. Hey, Crystal. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. My favorite safety devices were knee pads. You know, I don't remember once in all the years that I've done different stuff like that. I don't remember once ever wearing knee pads. Even when I was doing, roofing down in Indianapolis on the old homes, I don't remember ever wearing knee pads on any of that stuff. My friend said he used to work in unloading big slabs of stone. He said he's seen a guy get crushed. And see, one of the things that I did like about down in the mountains and stuff like that is a lot of those big stones that people had up in their yards and stuff like that are actually existing pieces of the hill or the plateau or whatever that's coming up through their yard. Um, where up here, people will go out and they will buy these boulders or these rough pyramid shaped pieces and have them delivered. And yes, I have heard of people unloading like large boulders and stuff. And they will go to put the straps on it to pick it up with the crane, and a board give out or a strap break, and they roll off of the truck. But I've never heard of anybody being seriously hurt um, during it. Um, Facing concrete slabs on white rock was hard as hell on the knees. Never worked with large stones besides tombstones. Yeah. Oh, where am I at here? Okay. I'm watching Rawhide with Clint Eastwood. Oh, yeah, I remember. Rawhide. And only set two tombstones. I never worked with tombstones. Never had to. Never had to. My favorite thing was going and, like I said, digging up the yard, putting in stone patios or stone walkways with like a really nice stone fire ring on it for folks to sit at, or building an outside grill, which is what I would really like to do here. Um, Once we get the patio done and everything, and I can find the money to put up a carport or something for the wife to park under, I want to go out and get Michigan fieldstone and actually build a stone fireplace grill out here for where we can, entertain, cook out, just put a fire in the fall or something, and sit out there around the fireplace. Uh, we'll see. That's the stuff I'd like to do before I get too old to do it. It's pretty simple. Well, we have a lot of stone out here on the hill in front of the house because when the old house came down 22 years ago that sat on this property, they took the Michigan basement and part of it was buried, but a um, was brought out and put on the hill uh, on the front of the property here. So I have enough stone right there on the hill front to build the fireplace and everything, but I want to put up a retaining wall and fill that in with fill dirt and level out the yard, totally eliminate the hill with a retaining wall, but then pull all that stone and build our fireplace from the foundation of Grandma and Grandpa's original home. So there's little bit of a little bit of method to my madness there. I don't just want to go get just nothing but other people's stone. I want to use the stone that was in the original family home that sat on this property. My nose gonna stop itching. Pretty simple. Pour a pad, set the stone on it. When it's uncured, fix any marks you make, settings up. Yeah. Did you work with marble? I have never worked with marble. Have you ever seen Michigan Dog Man? No, but I am really, really wanting to set an expedition up and go do some filming at like Manistee State Park here in the state of Michigan, where there have been a lot of dogman sightings and reports over the last 30 years. Um, I would love to set up an expedition of 5 or 6 people and go out there in October and go camping and just film. And I mean, even if it's just the howls, or even if we don't get any profound video of the thing itself, just filming the area and looking for him. So it's on my list. Just a matter of finding other people that want to go camping in October. I did far more block brickwork and pouring slope slabs. Sloped slabs can be a huge, resounding pain in the booty. But the end product speaks for itself. So, yeah, exactly. As long as the concrete's dry enough, a slope slab is not hard at all to do. But sometimes um, sometimes the hardest part when you're dealing with a dry enough concrete is getting it smoothed out and even being so dry. It's not as easy to manipulate, but still, it's not an impossible challenge. Let's put it that way. You just have to work with it. Yeah, exactly. Goodness gracious sakes, man! We've had some new folks pop in this morning. Had some old friends pop in. That's the one that, you know, we have been doing really good with the views, guys. Just keep sharing the videos and the live streams out. I have noticed that for about the last week, we have ranged anywhere from 380 to 533 views in a 48-hour period. Um, our our view rate. I am still working on. I mean, we're able to be monetized now, but the way that it's set up with the computer is I can't send my proof of who I am via a device like this. I have to actually send it via a computer, and the computer that we have does not have that email capability. So, or the photo capability. Uh, so I'm working on a method of actually getting us monetized, because right now I'm really kind of losing money, because, well, you don't lose what you don't have. But we're capable of bringing in right now, you know, $400 or $500 a month. It's just the idea that I have no way to verify my identity. So if some official from YouTube is watching this, make it easy. Let us send that information, that verification, via any kind of device, not just a computer. And that would make life so much easier. Me and my uncle were fairly expert in concrete back in 79. 79, I was 11 years old, Tony. Uh, your years of experience, man. I wish I had that kind of experience under my belt. 17, 18. Yeah, starting to say you're not quite a decade older than me. Pretty close though. 7 years, something like that. So I'll be 56 in October. So yeah, you got a couple years on me, a few, like seven, something like that. Oh man, just turned 63. Yeah, about 7 years. But yeah, like I said, we got some good videos coming up. Yesterday was the what if cryptids are just undiscovered species. Tomorrow is going to be remembering the New London school explosion. Um, Sunday or Thursday is Bethlehem Royal Hospital, from dark history to a bright future. I'm currently working on a World War II video on the Silent Service, um the Submarine Corps. Also, there'll be a little thing very beginning of that on a war hero, um, and not the kind of war hero you're probably expecting. So, a very decorated sergeant. So, Looked at the Cassius Clay video yet? Yes, I have, and I am looking into more information on Cassius Clay. Um, it makes for some interesting watching, that's for sure. Hardly anybody knows who he is, so hardly anyone knows the dude. Yeah, that. I didn't know who he was. When you mentioned Cassius Clay, I thought of Muhammad Ali. But this Cassius Clay, yeah, I mean he's hardly known. So that's definitely going to make for some interesting watching. That's for sure. But of course, I've got some other things in the works right now too. I'm working on um, here very soon. I'm going to be going one on one against a certain red suited merc with a mouth. Um, yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Hey, Squatch, good to see you, bud. Sorry we've only got a couple minutes left, but good to see you. Oh, one pop. No pop. Damn. When I see something that surprises me and is historic, I suggest the topic. Makes good sense. I'm glad you did. Because, like I said, I'd never heard of him before. So I'm really looking forward to delving more into who he was. Not Merc with a mouth, it's Merc with the mouth. Oh my God, tell me about it. You know, just trying to. I mean, I've not been called and uh, just trying to get the whole thing put together and do the interview and stuff like that. I have never been called an infected sphincter wart or uh, any other assorted, colorful um, phrase so much in my life. I mean, not even my wife has ever called me an infected sphincter wart, but he did. So yeah. Well, that means he likes me. Okay. Well, that makes me feel better then. Um, hey, Elvis, good to see you, bud. Long time no see. DP talk trash straight to the. Oh, well, of course he did because I mean, think about it. He just gets pulled apart and you know grows a new bottom half. So at least he likes me. I mean, that's definitely something. Dude, we got less than a minute left. What the hell? Jesus. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. Oh, as soon as I end this, it's back to videos. But take care, folks. Have a great day. You do the same, Tony, Elvis, Squatch. Sarah's already gone to the gym. Shit, like she can improve on perfection, but she's going to the gym so she can be tight as a tiger. But you guys all have yourselves a great day. I'm going to get back to work since it's only day off and I got to do something with it while the wife's sleeping. So, but you guys all have an awesome day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. And we'll catch y'all later. Have a good day and a good week, y'all.